Hey folks, Eric here from DirtyRealSneakers.com, and as I promised, I want to update you on the Fenix 6 Pro Solar after a little more than a year. It's actually been 14 months since I started using the watch. And if you look at it, you can actually see that it's held up really well, given that I wear it all day, every day, and all night. But let's back up. Like I said, a little more than a year ago, I plunked down $1,000 and got myself the most expensive GPS watch I hope I'll ever have to buy. And I want to go over the basics again for those living under a rock. This is a fitness tracker. In fact, it's really the Serious Athlete's fitness tracker with more options than you'll probably ever need, but nice to know they're there if you want to use them. Oh, hey, before we get too far into it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button below, it'll get this video up into the algorithm a little bit more. It would be great for the video, it'll be great for the channel, it'll be great for my self-esteem, and who knows, it might even cure COVID. So what do I mean by fitness tracker? It gives you the data for everything you've come to expect, things like steps, calories burned, intensity minutes, sleep, all-day heart rate, satellite tracking for outdoor activities, sensors including GPS, the North American standard, GLONASS, the Russian standard, and Galileo, the European standard, a compass, gyroscope, thermometer, an accelerometer for indoor activities, and a barometric altimeter for ascent and descent. Now, I used to think that the Fenix series was only for the ultra marathoners. I think I thought that because that's the demo they court with this in their marketing. But after getting the Fenix 5, I changed my mind. It's really a multi-sport lover's watch with a huge benefit of having a crazy amount of battery life. And that's one of the features that really sets this watch apart from some of the others on the market. The Coros line of watches being the exception, but that is not a digression I'm going to get into today. The 5 had a great battery life. The 5 Plus, a better battery life, and the 6, an even better battery life. And when the 6 was launched, they launched the Fenix Pro Solar, one of the most expensive watches on the market, coming in at $999.99 plus tax for the 51mm edition. It's since been lowered $50, so you can get it for $950. So what sets this one apart from everything else in the Fenix line? Now, if you look closely at the face of the Fenix Pro Solar, you can see that there's a 1mm strip around the edge of the display. That's the solar charger. The glass itself on the face of the watch also helps charge the battery, but to a much lesser degree. Now, according to Garmin, the 6 Pro Solar lasts up to 21 days in smartwatch mode, with an additional 3 added if you're outside in prime conditions for at least 3 hours a day. Now that's 3 hours each day, which is actually 75 hours over 24 days, just to be clear, to get that extra charge. Other battery modes include up to 60 hours GPS plus an additional 6 under prime conditions, GPS and music up to 15 hours plus 1, in max battery GPS mode 120 hours plus 28, Expedition GPS activity 46 days plus 10, battery saver watch mode 80 days plus 40 extra. I mean, that's just insanity. So when I did my original review back in September of 2019, long before the world changed, I said I was going to keep track of battery usage over the next year to see how it stood up and to see if the solar charging really makes a difference. So for the past 14 months, every time I swam, ran, or got on the bike, I would log the activity, type the time spent on that activity, and what kind of weather we had. Then I do a snapshot of the solar intensity. And here's what I found when I analyzed all that data. From January through March, I ran an average of 6 hours each week, not a ton. And then I couldn't motivate to run at all, and I decided to get back on the bike and really find out if that's where my mojo was. And it turns out that it was. While I used the Edge 1030 on the bike, I wanted to make sure that I was still tracking battery life on the Fenix, so I started using both. Starting in April and going all the way to this week, second weekend in November, depending on when you're watching this, I've spent, according to Strava, 152 hours and 32 minutes riding the bike. That comes out to an average of 7 hours and 52 minutes a week, actually in the saddle. Now, I tell you this not to brag or be judged, but to let you know how much time I spent using satellite and connected sensors. I say connected sensors because when I ride, I've connected the speed and cadence sensors as well as the Varia radar system, including the headlight. So I'm using a fair amount of battery to keep these all connected and while also sending me alerts for various metrics. So what's that all translated to? So I found that I got around 11 days use. That's about an average, or around 216 hours of use with 7 hours and 32 minutes, or 7 hours, sorry, and 52 minutes of satellite time between each charge. And I just don't think there's enough data yet for me to tell whether the solar charging is working or not. I do find this promising because it means the battery's holding up, because from the beginning of my tracking until the end, it stayed about average. I'm going to continue to track my battery usage and update you in another 6 to 8 months, or whenever Garmin releases their next Fenix series. So that's about it, folks. If you're interested in getting a watch for yourself, I put a link in the description of this video. Just know that it does go to my Amazon affiliate account, so I will make a couple of shekels off your purchase, but at no charge to you. And if you like this video, please smash that like button below, get it up to the YouTube algorithm a little bit more. And if you like gear reviews, race reviews, or anything endurance sports related, I'm your guy. Please hit subscribe and the bell next to it so you get notified when I put new videos up. Just about every week or so. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.